Welcome everybody to another episode of Film Addicts. And I'm Chili.
I'm Kent.
And we just finished watching The Doors, the Oliver Stone film. And it was quite a movie. It's been a minute since I've seen it.
I've never seen it. This was my first go around. I think it lived up to its hype. I'll start with that. And
How was the pace?
how was the pacing of it? When I first looked at the back of it, I thought, oh, this is going to be a little bit of a longer movie, but the pacing is good. And on the back of this Blu-ray, one of the things that's said by the Los Angeles Times is one hell of a ride, blasts your ears, and scorches your eyes. I totally agree with that. I think the symbolism and imagery in the film are pretty spot on, and it kind of felt poetic the way the movie was put together. So when we're hearing the songs play out, right, we also have some of his memories that accompany it, or there's things going on in the movie that also kind of relate to the lyrics, and I like that when they coincide the music with the film.
Like when she was on acid and you hear your lost little girl in the background, or like they're having that little fight in the hotel room and Wild Child is on, and he's out in the window, and
even in the beginning, like Riders of the Storm.
Yeah, he's hitchhiking and the car and everything like that, and then it comes at the end. So yeah, that was cool. Like on Love Street too. In the beginning, he's following her in Venice. How they meet, and she lives on Love Street, and that's kind of cool how he kind of puts all these songs on there. So yeah, it's in the background. The music is constantly going on. The Doors. It's really good.
And throughout the film, he appears to be pushing his limits. Yeah. And it's a common theme for artists. They want to test how far they can go, I suppose.
Well, I thought he did. Yeah. I thought he did more than any other artist did.
Absolutely. I think one thing that we were talking, well, we don't talk too much during the movies, but one thing was, I know of a lot of people that like the Doors, and I kind of associate it with like the kind of the hippie movement. I was wrong for that. I just know a lot of people that are into like crystals and stuff, and a lot of spiritual stuff, and they love the Doors. I guess I wouldn't say I was necessarily wrong. I would say that I was kind of closed-minded because it was more than that. Because in the movie, you kind of see that there's another side, right? We were talking about like the Velvet Underground.
Yeah. I felt they were on their own little path. There's all this summer 67 lovey-dovey shit, and they were just on a different trajectory. I mean, like Strange Days. It sounded gothy, the music had the keyboards, but they were a totally different thing altogether.
The lyrics were morbid, for sure. And then we had Death, which you spotted out for me.
Yeah, that was a little Easter egg. Like the bald guys throughout, like he was in the beginning when he takes her to the beach. Mm-hmm. He sneaks in, and then he's like a bum by the trash can that's on fire, and the guy's playing the harmonica. And
he will be at the concerts. Yeah. Usually, you can find him in like the pit.
Yeah. He was right behind him, yeah.
Even in I think one of the beginning, I forgot where was that actually, but there's a part where he's riding a pale horse.
Yeah.
Behold.
Yeah.
That was cool.
He was just pretty much with him throughout his journey. That was very symbolic. That was really cool. Mm-hmm. I thought Val acted really well as Jim Morrison. They said after he finished filming this film, him and Pamela or Meg Ryan, they were so into their characters, they had to go see a therapist or something like that, or try to get out of their character. They were so fucking stuck into it. It was weird.
I would believe that. Do you know if Val Kilmer is like a method actor?
I guess.
You're gonna get yourself killed trying to be a method actor for Jim Morrison. Man.
Yeah, but the way, because it talked about it in the supplements, he made a tape of him singing the Doors songs, and then there was the Doors, and he gave it to Oliver Stone and said, "Try to tell me which one is which, you know, who is Jim and who's not, and everything." And yeah, so he was just like baffled with that.
This movie was for sure
It's
chaotic in a good way.
Entertaining.
Oh, it's absolutely entertaining.
You know.
You got drugs, sex, rock and roll, some one-liners that get you thinking about reality as you know it. There's a lot to unpack them in a good way.
Yeah, but did you care about the characters?
Oh, absolutely.
You did? Okay.
Characters, yeah.
You know, I mean, at first he seems like you're rooting for him, but then you kind of see near the end like, oh, it's sad. You know what I mean? When he's up on top of the edge.
I think everyone saw it coming. Like with somebody like that, right? Like you know the end is going to come. You just don't want it to be today. Is what I would say when you're seeing him on his character, and you just think about him as a person, just like he's gonna die, right? And I've had friends where they're wild, they're crazy, live fast, die young type of mentality, and just like, I mean, it's a learning. You know, you think it's like crazy, it's fun, you like to be around those type of people, but at the end of the day, like his bandmates, they were growing up, they were starting to see like the big picture. They wanted to have like, they had their families, they had other, I guess, responsibilities, and he was beyond that in a way, I'd say. Like you said, how he was like pushing everything to its limits.
Yeah, and I guess the one scene is when he found out that they sold the song to a commercial, and he was just really kind of going, I thought we were about this, and we're fake now, and see, they kind of evolved with the industry, with the business, while he was just, you know, doing his own thing, in his own world with the witch, and you know, all this other shit. His friends, his drinking buddies.
He's drinking alcohol, he's drinking blood, he's doing heroin, he's taking acid.
Burning her.
Attempted murder, a lot of attempted suicide.
Yeah. And then he does the whole wedding thing with the witch and all that stuff. And then he gets into a court case, obscenities and all that stuff, and always trying to incite riots with his.
One word that I doubt anybody would use for this movie ever, and like they'd have to be nuts, is boring. There's just it's not boring in any way, shape or form.
And the thing is, because the reason why we started watching this, because we were having a discussion about films with biography films about musicals. Performers or artists, rock stars and whatnot, and you were saying that I don't like those kind of films, and I said, well, watch this one. Maybe this one is a little different, because some of those are kind of the same. The Aretha Franklin one, and I didn't like the Freddie Mercury one. I didn't like the Bohemian Rhapsody one. They all seemed very, I don't know. They seemed kind of one dimensional. Like you said, with this one had all the symbolism and all the weird things that the director was throwing in the film. It made it more interesting and kind of it's a sight for sore eyes, pretty much. It's just kind of different.
I think what it is, a lot of the times when I watch movies like that, I'll get interesting facts from them, and I'll start viewing the movie in a way where I'm almost taking mental notes of, okay, so that's how that happened, right? But in that case, I'd rather just watch a biography. I'd rather just get the information that way. But I guess what it is it's hard for me. I like movies where I can attach like emotions, and I can feel something, right? Or either I'm feeling angry or I'm feeling sad, and it's hard to do that with I guess biopics. But for this film, I mean, I think it does trigger a few different emotions. I think we've all had somebody in our lives that have like struggled with addiction one way or another, and they just burn themselves out eventually, right? You either recover, you die, or
because she was already in the middle of the film, like during the whole Thanksgiving scene, and they're walking, and she's all, "You said you were gonna stop drinking,"
right?
So they already have this kind of a relationship right there where it's just like, okay, it's already
toxic as fuck.
Yeah, they're he's trying to calm down, so he's on acid, so and so he's doing other things that you got to do something else, but yeah, the relationship is already kind of going like that. Yeah, I think that's where things started getting unmanageable for him.
And something that stood out to me is people already knew from the get-go, like what they were attracted to about him was this chaos, and he even said that I have like the soul of a clown, right? And everyone's trying to be serious with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's this poet and all this other stuff, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
It's like the romantic tragedy, right? Or comedy,
Comic tragedy.
Yeah, so it's one of those. He didn't change. You just thought he was something else. He was the same. Yeah,
he was the same throughout the whole film.
He just heightened. He just became a little bit more of himself as he progressed.
He would, at times, reveal little things about himself, like when he was saying, "I am lying. I am scared," because all the other guys in the band are like tripping out and they're freaking out on the peyote, and he's just like, just use your power, all your energy inside, but then at the same time he's freaking out too. He's just like, it's just like he's unpredictable.
Well, he was really. I like too some of his interests, right? Like his interests were into like the Greek gods, and there was like the god of wine and entertainment that he kept referencing.
Dionysus.
Yeah, and then he made a couple references, right? Like he was talking about a lot of like different spiritual things, but the way he went about it, though, I don't know. It just sometimes when I'm watching movies and they bring up like spiritual references, it's a little bit cringe. And I'm not gonna lie, there was little tiny cringy things, but I understand because he was fucked up and it made sense to me why he viewed it that way. But it was still cool to kind of. I felt like I understood his character watching this movie, or understanding Jim Morrison a bit more, and I was satisfied with how he got to where he was at and the conclusion.
With him liking Fame, though, remember he was jumping on the bed, he's all, "I like Fame," and then she was like, "This is not you," because he was starting to get, that photographer is like, "They're out there to see you, you're the Doors," and everyone was always just sort of just, kissing his ass at first. No, you're the Doors.
Well, he did say that his parents sort of, they didn't pay much attention to him, they didn't love him, he didn't feel loved. And they love him, the audience, the crowd. They're literally jumping on stage trying to fuck the man. So that probably felt nice.
Yeah.
Probably felt very nice.
Yeah, so he found another way to get something, And you got to get it all the time. It becomes like a drug, and he has the fame, and he has, and at the end of the movie, he was even saying on the plane, he's just like, his friend was like, "What are you going to do now? You've tested everything, and
he's gonna make a black and white movie,
yeah.
Or he was.
Well, yeah, and he was going to Paris to write.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing that to write his books and everything, but it didn't happen that way. But we got the music, and there are there are some real people in the film. There's cameos in it from the real members of the Doors, and the real Patricia Neely was in there, who played the witch. She was doing the ceremony, and I guess and then the son, Jim's son.
I saw Billy Idol's name on there. Yeah. I don't know where Billy Idol is.
He was Little Dog. He was a British guy. He was just, he was the one. He's all, he's part of that. His drinking buddy friends.
Okay.
Yeah, he was English.
Gotcha. All right, I'll have to keep an eye out for Little Dog.
But is it a movie you'd watch again?
Yeah, it's a movie I'd watch again. I think
you'd find more shit the next time, because I didn't realize the death guy, until, I watched it. But of course, I heard the commentary from the director, and he was talking about how he put that in throughout the film, the death guy, So, but I mean, I'm sure there's other things you get out of it once you watch it again and again,
So, out of 5, I'd probably give this movie I'll say a 4.2 out of 5.
4.2 out of 5?
Yeah, I really like this movie.
Wow. I was just going with a 4.
Yeah.
4. I mean, that's 4 is great, you know, but you went.
Well, I mean, it has. I like things when they're taken to the extreme, and Jim Morrison was just extreme in everything he did.
But did you think it was one-dimensional? Because there are some people who said this movie just portrayed him as a drunk. But, I mean, he was a drunk. But, you know what I mean? And not the other side of him. I mean, they did have the poetry side of him, but was he more just like someone that you cannot figure out? Was there still some kind of mystery towards him? About him?
No, I think that it was quite clear that his end goal was to basically not be a normal person, to not want the picket fence and the 2 children. He wanted to basically carve his name in, I don't know, I don't know if I would want to say history, but like, because his references to the gods and other things that he talks about that are like kind of greater than the day-to-day life.
But his porno friend was saying, no one's going to remember you. Remember? He had some fucked up friends, but he said that. He's like, no one's going to remember you, you know. But, and that's why he has, it starts, I'm glad that it starts off with that poem, the movie. He's all, did you have a good life before you die? Enough to base a movie on. You know, and then here it is.
Yeah, I think everybody wants more out of their lives, but Jim Morrison kind of had the balls to go for it, like balls to the walls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I don't think he was one-dimensional.
Or he wasn't depicted that way.
I don't think he was depicted that way. I think some of the ways he acted when he was fucked up, that was kind of stereotypical of a drunk or, you know, or like a stoner. But in terms of like his lyrics, right, and kind of his views on life, I don't think was one-dimensional.
Oh, because like there was that time when he had that press conference and he was just saying, oh, you know, we spend more money on alcohol and tobacco than we do on education.
And then asking, like, you know, shooting that question to the interviewer, like, what are you afraid of? Right? That doesn't seem like a typical thing to actually, like, okay, well, no, we're all human beings here. Like, well, if you want to be personal with me, I'll be personal with you. I'm not just somebody that, you know, yeah. So I thought...
but even that, I think to him was entertainment. Like, he pretty much, like, everything was, he used to say that he would go out on stage to be entertained and didn't really care about entertaining them. You know?
Oh, yeah, it seemed like when
could he get
when he was watching his movie, remember how he was, like, in, I don't know, like a theater class or something, or some sort of art class in college, and when he was watching his movie, he was taking it very seriously. You could tell that he was into it, and everybody else didn't understand it. They're all throwing crap at it, like, oh, this sucks, right? But so yeah, I get that point.
Yeah, and then only the keyboardist said, this is good. You know, fuck them. You know, this is art. Okay. So Oliver Stone's The Doors, I give it a 4. He gives it a 4.2. Yeah, it is a good movie. A great rock movie. You know, it's one of the best ones I find entertaining as well.
Yeah, and that's what the whole thing. For me, my biggest thing for movies isn't whether it is, like, extremely clever and you have to, like, go back and rewatch it 10 times. Like, what does this mean? You have to get a translator or something, or somebody who's, like, a pro in history or law. I want a movie that entertains me, and I'm just kind of an average guy. I'm not a genius here, and this movie, it's entertaining as hell. Yeah. So that's why.
And the music is great.
And the music's great. Know? So.
And if you weren't a fan of the music, I think you come out of this, you know, liking the music. It's you'll at least find one song that you like. So. That's our video today. Leave a comment below. What do you think about this film? Is it over the top? Was it a bad depiction of Jim and the Doors? You know, leave a comment below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.